Gary Tucker was caught in those deadly tornadoes. He was in his truck. He was lifted off the ground by the winds. He was inside along with his girlfriend. He lived to talk about it, and he joins us now live from Garland, Texas. So, Gary, you've had a little time to piece together exactly what happened during the storm. Can you walk us through what some of the worst moments were, what you were thinking at the time?
Yeah, so, I'm thinking we get lots of warnings around here, and what I have to say first is we got to heed those warnings. 1,000 false alarms is better than what one time of what we went through. We were lucky. We were in a large Toyota truck, and it saved us. A lot of people weren't so lucky, but heed the warnings. That's my first thing that I'm thinking. But we got in the automobile and the truck despite the warnings, and we're headed home. And I could see, just a big mass wall of, we were literally driving through the apartment complex that you just mentioned was swirling around at, like you said, 200 miles per hour. And that started banging into the truck. And we could just, I could see it ahead of me, and I could see debris, 2x4s, pieces of guardrail, just as far as my vision could see swirling around. And so I put the truck in park, and I started screaming, "Get down, stay down, stay down." And that's what we did. And we could hear this debris hitting the truck and breaking out the windows, and it started shaking. And literally at one point, the truck started lifting up off the ground, and I could feel it. And I remember thinking just as plain as day that I had died, and I had the feeling that I had passed away. And if I can give anyone any comfort in saying that, at that moment, I totally blacked out. So I believe when we pass away, the body has a mechanism that shuts off and we don't feel pain. And I literally thought, from what was hitting the truck and all the things that were breaking, that I had died, and the truck lifted up off the ground. And I don't remember anything after that, but what we know is the truck was thrown over into the field, 20, 30 feet, and rolled some 7 to 10 times. And it wasn't until we stopped rolling and we're the truck was on its side, on the driver's side, that someone was standing outside yelling at us, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And we were thankfully, able to climb out the window.
So Gary, sorry, do you actually have any idea of how far off the ground the truck was at the highest point? And so many people were killed in this storm. Why do you think how do you think you managed to survive alongside with your girlfriend? Because clearly you're in a very dangerous situation.
So I don't know how high, but you look at the truck, and it's a solid truck. It took a beating, and so a lot of the beating came from just the sheer stuff of hitting it. So I suspect, it was some height, and rolling as far as we were off of the street, it had to be fairly high. And I have no idea. I believe God has a bigger plan that we know nothing about. So in addition to that, being in the large Toyota truck, it had to be a combination of those two things. I don't know why.
Sorry to interrupt.
Got out. Why us, right? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, how much damage is around you? How much destruction have been left behind by these storms?
Well, that was really when we got out, we were, of course, in shock from what we went through, but it was like being in a war zone. There were cars all around. The highway next to us, cars had flown off of the highway and were all around us, frankly. There literally was debris and trees, and there was a riding lawnmower some 10, 15 feet away from the truck. So when we got out, it literally was like being in a war zone. It was pretty amazing.
Well, we're glad you survived, obviously, to tell a pretty incredible tale there. Gary, we appreciate you being with us. Best of luck for the new year.
All right, you too. Take care.
Let's go to Pedro Echeverry right now. He has more.